So I opened this rear sunroof and it had snow coming in through here. So here's that error code again. It is Easter and I'm heading up into the mountains where my family has a cabin. So I'm gonna park my van up by the cabin and have some quality time in the winter snow. The weather does not look very good. It looks like there's a big snowstorm coming in. It's actually the first time I brought my van up here to the cabin. Might get stuck. It's a pretty difficult road up there, so okay, it is Easter and I parked my van at my family's cabin up in the mountains, and now I'm heading out to do a little backcountry ski touring with some friends that I'm gonna meet halfway up the mountain here. It's a little bit windy, but the sun is coming out. The weather's been absolutely crap. It's been raining and it's been big storms and stuff up here, but today looks pretty good. So let's hope I can get some good winter shots of what we're doing out here when we gather some friends and climb the mountains. amazing scenery. It is March 31st and it's still winter up here.
Det var ikke fulle hytter en eneste gang. Var ikke det? Nei. Men det var et par sånne terrasser med både jekk og kjørt. Jeg hadde hjertet i halsen.
Okay, we're down. We came down these turns you can see up here, and the other continued down the valley, and I'm gonna continue back to the van. So this is pretty bad. I'm glad I moved my van. It's really going off now, this storm that was on the forecast. Well, good morning. It's just an absolutely massive snowstorm outside. I can't get my heater to work right now. It's giving me a couple of error codes. Look at this. So I'm parked right next to this cabin here. I had to move the van a little bit to get it a little bit more sheltered. As you can see, it's really going off here after a week of spring. This is the strongest snowstorm I've ever experienced in the van. And now I need to find out why the heating seems to be working only on electrical. If I try to put it on combination of electrical and propane, it gives me an error message. And I don't know why. Let's see. I have to go outside and check the exhaust. Maybe that could be the problem. As you can see, it's pretty cold inside now. It's just around freezing. And I'm connected to shore power because I'm by the cabin here. This is absolutely crazy. I was parked out here, but I moved the van back here in anticipation of this. So here's that error code again. I'm gonna go into the manual and see what that means. So this one is completely iced over. Don't know how to get that fixed. This wind, I can hook up just the electric heater inside for now. This is just extreme. It was 32 meters a second winds on the forecast, and hurricane is 32.8, I think. So this is pretty mad. I parked so that I was sheltered, but at the same time that made the snow go around and go into the vent of my heater. So now I gotta figure out if there is a way to get that unclogged. This is just insane. So this is where I was parked first, and then I moved over behind the garage here, and I don't know quite what to do now. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of Googling. Apparently not the best. The entrance to the cabin here. Wow. Look at this. The wind has totally clean swept this part. Gonna get out my space heater here. I cleaned the exhaust on the outside, hoping it'll work. It's actually a little bit of snowdrift coming in here. Whew. This is craziness. This is the neighbor's cabin. Just running the engine now. To get the temperature up. Gonna add this space heater now. Now it's going full off. So I think I had a temperature too cold through the night, and this is insane. I had the temperature too cold through the night, so it stopped several times and it didn't run, so I couldn't keep the exhaust open with the use of its own heat. Look at this. This is the worst snowstorm I've experienced in the van. It's been up to 31 before, but now it's 32 on the forecast, and this is much more exposed. Even though I'm in between these cabins here, it's super exposed from the east here, and the wind that comes through here is just so powerful. So hurricane is 32.8, and the forecast for right now is 32 meters a second. So yeah, I'm not doing anything here. I was able to fix that exhaust for the Truma heater, and since I'm already talking about that, I might as well continue. So the Truma Combi 4 heater that I have in my van here is a fully integrated system. It also has a boiler, a 10-liter boiler for hot water, and it has all these outlets that runs along the floor that sends heat into different areas of the van. Like there's one outlet under the bed, there's one in the bathroom, and there's 4 out here in the living area. My heat comes out here and here, and there's one under the bed, and there's one down here in the bathroom. My version of the Truma Combi 4 heater runs on propane. I have 2 10-kilo bottles of propane. In the coldest part of the winter, 1 bottle will last me 5 days. So that's 10 days of heating in the dead of winter. You can also get this Truma Combi 4 heater as a diesel heater that would run through your integrated fuel tank probably. You get the same kind of heating from the diesel version and the propane heater. There's no moisture coming into the car because you have that external exhaust, so all the moisture goes outside. That makes my propane heater the same as the diesel heater. The good thing with the propane is that you don't have to change any filters or anything, and propane is about half the price to run here in Norway compared to diesel. Diesel is very expensive in Norway. The good thing about diesel is, of course, that you never run out as long as you keep your fuel tank topped off. Look at this here. When I was running the heating system of the van here, like these here, it started getting foggy on the inside of the windows, but now that I've started using my that was a scary one. Now that I've started using the Truma Combi 4 heater, you can see the fog and the mist is disappearing from the windows here. So it's kind of a dry heat. Even though most people think of those propane heaters that produce a lot of moisture, this is not the same. that was just a little bit of info about my heater. I think it's time for coffee now. It's almost 11. And if I can keep the van stable enough here. Wow. Absolutely. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit with coffee. Space heater running. Absolutely mad. Don't know what else to say. Wow. It's getting warmer in here, luckily. But the wind is getting stronger, or it changed direction. It's just massive now, and the whole van is shaking sideways. Look at this. Look at the cabin. I don't even dare to make coffee right now with this stuff going on here. It's getting nice and warm in here again. Luckily. So I opened this rear sunroof and it had snow coming in through here, and this one I had placed up there. This is not good. So I need to do something here real fast. Oh man. Okay. What can I do here? It wasn't as bad as I feared, but there's some ventilation up here that you cannot close, and this blizzard snow here just comes in through. Now I gotta find a smart way to close this. Maybe I can. It's too small. The best thing is probably if I can find a pillow that's large enough, and maybe if I do something like this. The handkerchief, the towel, I can close. Yeah, that should keep it from seeping in, I think. Never mind that pillow. I'll always buy a new one. It's funny, when you park right next to a building with shore power and everything, and you got the most emergencies you've really had in your van, or not emergencies, but like trouble, just proves that this is the worst snowstorm. Well, the heat is working, and gonna get back to that coffee now. Really too much stuff going on today. Of course, I need ventilation. When I'm doing my coffee. Well, cheers. It's a pretty tense morning. Look at this. Huh? It's like a commercial, like I have a TV screen with a commercial for some winter stuff going on here. But all I got is coffee. It's kind of weird. It's April 4th. And we had a week, 10 days of really spring weather. It was warm, it was up to like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius, and it was raining. So all the snow on the roads and up here in the parking lot outside the cabins here, all the snow disappeared. If you see the videos I took when I arrived here and put on my shore power, you can see there's snow on the ground, and it was difficult driving actually. I barely got up, and then all the snow disappeared, and now winter is back full on. It's -7 degrees, it was down to -10 through the night, and this snowstorm, 32 meters a second, nearly a hurricane. Crazy stuff. It's gonna go on for a couple of days. Not as bad as this, but it's gonna stay around storm level, not close to hurricane later on. But this was the worst snowstorm so far. Couldn't even hunker down in between the cabins here. Oh, I'm glad I got my heating back. Never had a problem with exhaust clogging up before, but that's the first time. Normally the exhaust normally the exhaust melts all the snow that comes into its proximity, but it didn't do that this time. Probably because I didn't keep it warm enough. So it probably had long periods of times where it was not running. But now it's running constantly, and it seems to be working fine again. As soon as the storm lets up, I need to go through that rear sunroof again. Just check really closely that I don't get any moisture. Looked fine. It looked like it had only gotten some snow on that insulation board that I put up there. So now I got snow or ice melting on the inside here as well. So got a drop of water running on the inside. Not good. It's like this is the limit of what my van can do storm-wise, obviously. It's all using the same kind of gear that everyone else are using. Like all the windows are Dometic and the sunroofs are Dometic, and I think that's pretty much the standard. But now that, yeah, I should have kept it warmer, because this is ice melting that has formed. It has happened once before, and as soon as I open the window, and let's see if that's possible. Yeah, so you see this ice here that's formed, it's melting, and running down on the inside. All the things, there it is. That stuff there. All the stuff you have to experience on a day like this. Should do it hopefully. Chaos and disorder. I'm gonna call this episode Chaos or something. I don't know. Definitely some kind of survival mode today. Of course, it's not a life or death situation in any sort of way, but this is really testing the limits of what this van can do, and it also gives me some things to work on. Ooh. I'm wheeling off here. Also gives me something to work on for the summer to improve, I think. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I was thinking this might be quite cozy with this storm here, to spend the day here working on my computer and stuff, and it's not. Even on this side, where I'm so close to the building, gotta get some work done, get some subtitles for my next video. Woo. So as you probably noticed, nothing sticks to the van when the wind is blowing this hard. The snow just builds up some snow drifts whenever it can find some shelter or something, so nothing sits on the van. I would have loved to have a layer of snow on the van to stop all this stuff from happening that's been going on today, but not much I can do about that. If I put the tarp on top, it would just blow off as well. So look at this. April winter. It's fascinating sitting here working on subtitles while this is going on outside. Well, it's so bad now. It's so shaking. Whoa. What am I doing up here? I was going up here to have a safe haven in Easter and enjoy the mountains, which I did with my friends, but I should have gotten off the mountain before this, but now there's really nothing I can do because I cannot get down this road until they plow it, and they're probably not gonna do that until tomorrow night. So here I am. I didn't think I would test the very limits of what kind of a snowstorm I can handle in April. I would think that would be for like January, February, maybe the beginning of March, but this is crazy. So funny thing is I'm adding subtitles to another snowstorm video that I have that is coming out now, and it's so ridiculous compared to the snowstorm that I'm experiencing now. It's just nothing compared to this, but this is pretty extreme. What an experience. I'm not sure I want to do this again ever. Good thing now over here on my window it's not running any water after I fixed it there. It just doesn't want to end. it's not supposed to either, according to the forecast, but what a winter it's been. I'm pretty sure this is the last one for this season. It's just been crazy. April 4th. In a month I'll be going to Spain for a few weeks. And then I'll be heading out again in the Arctic for a summer tour. And then I'll be heading to the United States in September to spend some time in Yellowstone, Utah, maybe the Sierra Nevada. Got 4 weeks, a few weeks of a break, and then it's Arctic winter tour again. Crazy. I gotta stop doing it. Oh man. Don't know what to say. I was not expecting to ride out the most intense snowstorm of my life. Doing this Easter tour up to the family cabin in this normally crowded area with a lot of cabins and lodges and huts around, but now it's all blocked off because of the weather here. There's nobody coming in or out of this place for a few days.
So let's go and take a look to see if the road is passable, or if I have to wait here for several days until the plow truck comes. He might be here late tonight, but I'm guessing it's gonna be a couple of days. So let's go and take a look. What's going on with the road? There's no way to get through this. Or this. That's it. That's a good meter. Incredible. There's another one below here. Yeah, not getting through that today. My hands. Yeah. That's just unthinkable. So here I am. No way I'm getting out there. That is impassable.
It was a meter deep approximately, and there was several more snow drifts across the road, so I'm stuck here for now. This thing is really not letting up, so I think it's time for dinner. Today I'm gonna make some egg and avocado burritos, I think. Eggs, avocados, cheese, spinach. I think actually pesto for this. Okay, it's dinner time. Let's get a light beer to celebrate this stuff that's still going on like crazy outside. Cheers, my friends. This should be nice. Awesome. A lot of avocado in there. Well, that's something. Well, the weather was supposed to improve, but now it's getting worse again. I guess I triggered that. Now there's snow coming in from the sunroof here as well. Wow. Can't wait for summer now. Yeah, I get it. You're angry, weather god. It's snowing in here now. How nice. I need to get up in that sunroof and see if I can fix that. Seems like this Dometic stuff is not very good. If you can see that, but it's blowing in here. This is pretty annoying. Maybe it's coming out through these vents here because of the strong wind. It's just this stuff here. Wow. It is pretty insane what's going on. It's snowing inside now. So today I've kept the covers away from the front windows, so I'll be able to see the storm. It is too crazy. So this seems to be working. It's almost like it's blowing from underneath and it comes up and goes in. I need to take a closer look at that. Yeah, now it's not coming in any longer. The weaknesses you find in the van, it's good when you're able to find the exact spot. So I got access to the webcam that's up here on the side of the garage here. So I'm going to show you some of that footage. It looks pretty spectacular. You can see the front of the van behind the corner here. Look at this. We're supposed to let up now, and it's definitely not. In true fashion, it seems like the weather forecast has been reversed. It is much worse now than it's been. I can only say that I'm totally baffled by this. It's so funny. It's so funny because the area around the van is completely clean of snow. It's just blowing straight past and nothing is settling around here. Glad I'm not in a tent in this. So I think the snow is getting in through cracks and fissures and anything, because I can feel snow crystals floating in the air basically, and it's just insane. This stuff here, it's the absolute worst snowstorm I've been in. Of course it happens in gusts, so it's not like every shot that I get that is insane, but so I often get asked what I do inside my van on days like this, and it's pretty simple. I make sure that everything is functioning and take care of any issues that might arise during the day. Apart from that, I get up, I have my coffee, I spend many hours working, either editing videos or doing subtitles on some of my videos, working on thumbnails, and I film a lot on days like this because it's so intense and interesting. So I spend a lot of time getting video shots like I'm doing right now. And after working for a good day, I usually end up with making dinner and relaxing a little bit, and then I'll either read a book, or I'll watch a YouTube movie or two, or I'll watch a TV show on a streaming service. Sometimes I go back to work around 9 or 10, and if inspiration strikes, I might be working through midnight. That is not so often though, but it happens from time to time. If I feel excited about something I just filmed, like this stuff here, probably gonna work on this stuff here pretty fast, because this is quite something. I just saw on the forecast site that it's gonna be snowing insanely much tomorrow afternoon, but it's not gonna be this windy. It's gonna be like a small storm, but it could be spectacular still. We'll see. Yeah, I forgot to say, and then I'll go to bed, and usually I'll read for half an hour or an hour, read a book before I fall asleep. So as I'm doing my travels through the Arctic and other parts of the world, like this trip I'm planning in the western United States for September, I'm gonna be posting my maps on my Patreon page, and also for channel members here on YouTube. You can press the join button here on my channel to get a preview of what you can expect to see. So I create a new map for each of my long trips, where I add places of interest and my camps and my favorite campsites and my favorite driving routes. So if you want to tag along or want to see my favorite campsites and stuff, you can sign up to either Patreon or become a member here on my YouTube channel. I think a lot of people join because of the maps, where I've been researching a lot and finding winter campsites and places to park and stuff like that. Wind is so crazy today. Let's see what the forecast says now. It's supposed to calm down a lot more. Tomorrow it's hitting again with a ton of snowfall. I'll stay here for that as well. And then Saturday it all changes and it looks like it's gonna be raining. It's Thursday today.
Okay, it's calmed down a little bit, so I'm gonna take another look at the road. It looks very interesting. This is my direction. That is insane. Can't even walk through this. So, forget about that. This is the other direction. So that's pretty much... It's completely walled in now. So this needs a good deal of plowing. Have to do this to not make it beat itself up. Well, I said it had calmed down, and I don't know. This here seems to be a problem spot above the windows. So let's have a look inside the garage here. This is where I had my power plugged in for the first few days here. Look at this. This is inside the garage. That's pretty crazy. Wow. Good thing it's right in the machine.
tells you something about this storm, doesn't it? This is inside the garage. Good thing we have an excavator here. Let's take a look at how high the snowdrift was here. So this is it up here. Yeah, that's the snowdrift. So that's the stuff I would have driven through. Yeah, that would not have happened. The road has been plowed, but it's already blowing over again, so guess I'll have to wait for another day, because this storm just won't quit. It's obviously much less than it was earlier today and yesterday. So all good. Back to the van.